going on now? Days after a Nepalese female student allegedly died by suicide at the KIIT University, 8 senior officials of KIIT, including its founder Achyuta Samanta, have appeared before the state government's high-level committee investigating the alleged suicide of the Nepalese engineering student and subsequent attack on students from the neighbouring country. In the ongoing investigation, Odisha government will take action based on the reports submitted by the high-level panel. The statements of those who were summoned in the connection with the suicide of a Nepalese student at KIIT University have also been recorded. Further course of action also now will be taken based on the recommendations by the committee. So far, 10 people have been arrested in this case. The police investigation is also underway. The CCTV footages have also been seized and sent to a forensic lab. A copy of the forensic report has been sent to the government, which is under investigation. Further, the KIIT University has suspended 2 women employees for their misbehavior to students who were protesting over the girl student's death at campus. The police is also verifying the audio featuring conversation between the deceased girl student and the accused. Joining us at this point is Sanjeev Marik, former Odisha DGP. Also with us, Sanjay Sahai, former IPS officer, Firoz Ahmed Bakht, former Chancellor, Maulana Azad University is joining us live. Brinda DK, activist, also is joining the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first. Sanjeev Sahai, how do you react to the police investigation that is underway so far? This is a case which has obviously rocked not just India but our neighbouring country of Nepal as well. Many Nepalese students had left the campus. Obviously, that's something now we want to correct, with these students coming back as soon as possible, but they'll only come back once they feel safe, and action for that is necessary. Sanjay, how do you react to the police investigation so far? What more is needed now? Achyuta Samanta himself appearing before the committee as well.
See, first and foremost, what is important is to understand whether the university managements have an iota of understanding of administration. As far as the normal management of admission, fees and variety of other things happen, they run on a regular basis. But when there is the slightest bit of crisis, inclusive of redressal management, we find the university management to be a total cipher. So that is from where it all started. And this girl, she has complained about the mental harassment and variety of other things, and the university management has not been able to do anything. The unfortunate part is that universities are basically an isolated area out of the reach of the police. And it is generally supposed that the inside administration will be done by them. We have seen in Arjekar, we have seen in Anna University, and I will not know a variety of other campuses. So when the whole thing reaches to a pot boiler, at that point in time, the police moves in. Even 500 students are asked to leave, and the police and the state administration is unaware of it. I just can't understand how international students can be handled in that particular manner, and there's a total lack of transparency. Let's be very, very clear about it. So expertise is not there, transparency is there, and nobody is ready to put his neck out and own the whole issue. Post which the case takes place, and lo and behold, it is every time abatement to suicide case will be there. And with that, lots of these inquiries and variety of other things happen. Is only because of the protest of the Nepalese students, and might be media and the Nepalese government, we have reached where we have reached, and the investigation. Technically, see, one is the technical part of the investigation, second is how much it impacts the general public and what is the nature of confidence which is generated out of the university management. That is very, very important. So, technically, the investigation is moving in the right direction. So, case has been registered, they have seen the videos. The video forensics has been done, and variety of other formalities will need to be fulfilled. So that is being done. And I think 2 of these lady officials who came up with very caustic remarks regarding Nepal and related things, I think they have also been taken to task and to assuage public feelings. So something has appeared on X platform. So that they are apologetic about it and they don't convey the opinion or the feelings of the university administration. Whatever they spoke was at the spur of the moment, and it was connected only to what they thought. So cut the long story short, for the students to come back, you just think of a situation. We were all university students at some point in time, and most of us have lived in hostels. Just to pick up and throw you at a railway station, I don't think that feeling, once you have gone through, can be assuaged or compensated, or you can get back to the normal self until you are given that reassurance over and over again. Students also know that this present predicament is because of the making of the university administration, and whatever changes have come forth is only because of the intervention of the government of India, government of Odisha, and at the back end, government of Nepal. And there is a high level committee which is going into the whole thing. And as you said, founder and owner of that particular group, he has appeared and lots of other people have appeared. So I presume things are moving in the right direction, but you still have to go a couple of extra miles so as to assure the students that things will get back to normal. And the normal structural reversal mechanism and response mechanism will fall in place. I think it is advisable for the government that they come up with a very structured stuff, and until that is met with an audit and lots of other drills and might be surprise check, I think university should not be allowed to continue in the manner they do. So they become basically a boiling kettle in most of the places, and every time they react wrong. I have absolutely no idea why it happens every time, but every time the reactions are wrong. And for long times after the whole thing happens, no correctional measures are in the place, stopgap arrangements, ad hoc solutions are done, and they get back to their operations.
Yes, Brinda Rike, how do you react to, so far the committee's actions taking this matter forward? Do you believe, things are going to the logical conclusion? Are these steps taken enough to provide reassurance to the Nepalese students who obviously had left the campus for fear and, of course, in a mark of protest after this incident was reported? Also, now the KIIT founder himself, apart from other officials being summoned, appearing before this committee too.
See, at the outset, I reiterate and agree with everything Mr. Sanjay Sahai just now spoke about. Let us keep in mind that whatever the committee is doing today is absolute knee-jerk, stopgap, and damage control. That is all. And constantly feeding the media and all of us, something to salvage. Okay, now the KIIT owner or initiator or author or whoever he calls himself has come forward. So everything is set right. No. Have you registered FIR? Have you arrested those people? Are they behind bars? Will they all be applying for bail? Where is all this information? Isn't that procedure? Have you not registered FIR? Abetment to suicide does ask for you to be put into jail and follow the procedure. Have you done this? Dismissing somebody, giving them a termination letter, making such a big noise about, apology, an absolute half-hearted, shameless remorse and sorry by that woman claims to be her teacher. What has set right just now, like Mr. Sahai points out, to instill confidence in the students and for the students to feel, hey, this is the last bit of it. Something like this will never happen. Why? Because the government does not seem to show that it cares. What it has shown just now is it's very angry that everything is out there in public space. That there are people questioning, there are people holding management accountable. But are we really holding the management accountable by law? Because if we are not doing that, then the government and the state has done nothing. We must also hold people accountable who fund these institutions, and this particular institution. Have they pulled these people up? Because I know that there are a lot of NGOs, and including this KIIT, getting CSR funding. So has the funding stopped? Have they said, unless you put in all your mechanisms in place, redressal and preventive and protection, no more funding to you? What is it that is at stake for this organization, for this institution? Nothing. Except that these people will not be just now arrested. That's all. Nothing is happening to them. So when you ask will there be confidence instilled in the Nepalese students? No, because your teachers there, the people who are managing students, sessions, classes, and the streams, various streams that are offered there is no change in them. Nothing has come into them. Have they all been psychologically evaluated? Should we not do that? Because if a teacher, a warden, is spewing so much of venom, we are known as a society and as a country. Not only are we patriarchal, but we are a very casteist, racist, discriminatory, not just simply on religion and the food that we eat, even the color of your skin and the features of your face. So ethnic racism and discrimination is deep down. So if anybody calls these people as teachers and educationalists, we want to ask ourselves, are they really educated? So what is at stake? What have we done today or put these people at a spot to say, hey, what have you done? We don't know about the other teachers because it hasn't come out. But if there was no encouragement, tacit support from somewhere, maybe political, maybe management, maybe because of the caste of these teachers or from the geographies that they come, this impunity wouldn't be there. And let us place on record, might not be the first time that students have been subjected to something like this. This student committed suicide because of that particular politically influential culprit badgering her, traumatizing her. But I'm sure a lot of others over there would have similar stories. Fact finding has been done. Who has done it?
Okay.
The report come up. I have only questions.
Okay, point taken. I'll come back to you. Let me get in the others as well. Firoz Bakht Ahmed also joining us now. Firoz Bakht Ahmed, you're an educationist. You've, of course, been Chancellor of a big university. You understand how things work. Now that this incident has happened, what is the best way to provide a balm to the students of, of Nepal at this particular university? Also, other universities as well, because this has been extensively reported across India. I'm sure it has had a fallout on Nepalese students in other universities as well. Also, Firoz Bakht Ahmed, as far as now the progress that the committee and the police have made so far, is it enough? Is more needed?
Look here, Uday Pratap. Not only that I was a chancellor at Maulana Azad National Urdu University from 2018 to 2021, I have also been an activist and a whistleblower. Now, this case actually reminds me of that Kolkata, this car college, where a student was murdered and till now nobody has been hanged, right? I think that was politicized because of Mamta, blah, 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 or whosoever. However, though I compared it to that car college case, medical, college where this poor student was murdered, raped and murdered. Now, in this case, you asked me the question, do you think that enough is being done? I don't think enough is being done at all, and I completely side with my another learned panelist, Brinda, who actually says that this is just a formality, a stopgap arrangement that you make some committee. Students are most precious. In fact, they are the backbone to any system of education, whether India or abroad. Since the time of Nalanda, the system of education in India is considered to be the best all over the world. We have some of the best colleges and universities, and that's why India is trusted for the best brand and trend of education. But if these things keep on happening, I am also adding this Kolkata car college tragedy to this KIIT tragedy, that I don't think that enough is being done, and in fact not only the Ministry of Education, in fact the entire system should actually be on the alert, because if such things will keep on happening, and as Prime Minister Modi is trying to make India to be the leader of the world, that is Jagat Guru, India won't reach there unless such things are taken care of seriously. What do you mean by committee has been made and this is being done? And Brinda was right when she said, yes, these people should have been immediately arrested. FIR would have been there, and these people, responsible people, principal or whosoever, they should have been immediately suspended. But unfortunately, the system, as I understand, sometimes our legal system also allows these loopholes. It must immediately stop. Stop that committee, inquiry will come, we are inquiring. All these things will give India a bad patch on the system of education. So, I request, if anyone is listening to me in the Ministry of Education or in the concerned departments, I humbly request to all those officers or all those responsible people that immediately arrest those people who are responsible for it, and don't say we are inquiring, inquiry will come out after 10 days, 20 days. It must stop, because India is now in fact one of the best countries in the world in all walks of life, and this is going to give a blot to India.
Yes, let me quickly now go back across to you as well for this, for your perspective, Brinda DK. Of course, you were raising various questions there, and you had several concerns that still remain. Obviously, this is something now that needs to be enacted fast, because as I said earlier, it's not just this university itself, but other universities too, where perhaps Nepalese citizens and students would be getting concerned, and maybe other international students as well. Brinda DK?
Unmute yourself.
You're absolutely right. We also have a lot of students who come from African countries, students who come from other countries and look different, speak differently. And we know that colleges and educational institutions have not been that inclusive space that respects any form of diversity. There are a lot of boards and posters that you can see on all of these colleges once you enter there. But it is only when you go in and look deeper, question a little more, you find out that teachers encourage some form of discrimination. In their talk, there is a lot of discriminatory speech. And it is taken for granted that they are saying it out of anger. But does any teacher or any professor or lecturer have that right to disrespect a student? So that is the first question. Because on one side we will say, Atithi Devo Bhava, any person coming into my country is like a god, but I would do everything that is devilish to this god. And I know that I will get away with it. And like the Vice Chancellor just now pointed out, where are these mechanisms in place? We still do not have those mechanisms. We are talking about POSH, prevention of sexual harassment at the workplace, which means every college should have it over there, because there are students after second PUC who are above 18 and this law is for them. Now, is there an IC there? Is there an internal committee? Is there a committee that is against ragging? Is there a committee to look at child protection? So we don't even know if these committees are there. Do they function? How do they function? Who oversees them? And we know that under POSH, there is a local complaints committee that is supposedly headed by either the MLA or the councillor. And those are not very, eluding any kind of confidence to students. So when you ask this question, what are our students doing over there? I really don't know how the Nepalese students are handling themselves. I'm just hoping that there are counselors and there are teams and groups, because many years ago, something like this happened in Bangalore. And at that point of time, the police and several CSOs came together, civil society organizations came together to build that collective and a helpline. And any student could call and talk to us, ask for any kind of support, including shelter and food. Now, is it something like that is going on there? We don't know. What we are hearing is procedurally we are doing this, we are doing that. But there are a lot of other things. 500 students sent out of college in, say, 1 or 2 days. Where did they go? What about their shelter? Where did they stay? What about their protection, their safety? All of these are concerns, and none of this has come out anywhere. We cannot place the entire burden on the police and say, but you look after them. How can the police look after, and how dare the management say something like this? Immediately, the government should have taken over the management and said, okay, we are putting all of you under suspension. We will be running it. Now, don't tell that we don't have the wherewithal. So we want to ask ourselves, when there are some states and some state agencies that can literally take over institutions, and they have done that in the recent past, what stops my government to take over KIIT till all of this tides over? In the meantime, saying that we can't put all of these children out, we can't shut that institution down, but we can certainly put in people who will oversee and ensure that all students feel safe and all students are protected.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let me in fact quickly take that across to back across to Sanjay Sahai. Sanjay Sahai, now there have been arrests in this case already. What sort of sections will apply in this particular matter? What sort of further arrests would you seek in this particular case? As many are saying, it should become an example case.
No, see, as far as this particular case is concerned, we are talking only about abetment to suicide, to best of my understanding in the public domain. So, when it comes to abetment to suicide, so primarily whatever is evidence available against the accused, so that is being culled together. Now, how did we reach that point? I am still not ready to accept the fact that abetment to suicide can strictly be related to or limited to that particular boy. The grievance redressal mechanism, the people who have been there for last 3-4 months or even more, who have actually abetted to the suicide. This suicide wouldn't have happened and the boy or whatever would have been put on the right track, or he would have taken out of the life of this girl and things have moved in the right direction. So this legal, technical abetment to suicide, and there is only one boy who is involved and who is actually a provocateur to this particular incident in the last couple of months. So that I don't accept, and that I don't accept in the case of Arvikar also, that whole incident happened only because of the laxity of the college administration. That is point number one. Now, point number two, with regards to the college itself, is there any criminal breach of trust? Is there anything in their official mechanism which calls for further criminal cases with regards to people who have been handling the administration? So I told earlier also, I am repeating it once again, the case is being limited to primarily three things. One is abetment to suicide, where they are getting all the evidence, and they will get all the evidence, they will charge it, and this guy will go behind bars, and whatever the judicial process that will proceed. The second, what they are interested in, that on the face of it, normalcy comes back to this place, and things are declared that everything is hunky-dory, please come back, and the education goes on. And the third, and more importantly, from a very diplomatic raw point of view, is the high-level committee which has been constituted in Odisha, which also gave summons or notices to the founder of KIIT and other people, and they will continue their inquiry, or they have completed the inquiry. They will give a report which will primarily give you an inkling into not what has happened, but also it will give you that everything is fine and things can move in the direction they should, and there will also be some report which will go through the MEA to Nepalese government that things have been set right. So this
all
is
right, okay. I'm going to have to leave it at that. We've run out of time. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this broadcast.